Oh, no, you go down. Biggest fight. Biggest fight.
Mine's biggest. Mine's biggest.
What?
Less
No way, bro. Brother, take 30 seconds. Brother,
You have biggest fight UFC history.
brother, you
Against who?
You against who?
Lesnar.
Brother,
Biggest
brother,
fight.
what are you talking about? When you win last time? 2007?
You have hard fight?
Hey,
You have hard fight?
no?
You feel this guy's
You fight, brother.
Wait. I don't warm up, bro. So yeah, Khabib knows how to win, but he knows how to entertain his own way. He listens to myself and his father, mostly his father, but for the most part, he does his own thing.
So I was just going to ask you about that fight. He admitted afterwards that he was watching a lot of Muhammad Ali clips leading up to the Brooklyn fight, and he was getting a little bit in love with his boxing. With all due respect to the other opponents, Conor's a different beast, right? If you start playing around with boxing, you're going to get a left hand that will put down some of the greatest fighters of all time. You can't do that, right?
No, you can't. You do that with Conor, he's gonna finish you. He's got precision, striking. He's an elite striker in the MMA division. You do that with him, that's the stupidest thing you could ever do. Khabib will go after him. If he misses 99 takedowns, he'll go for 100. As long as he's standing, he's looking for the takedown. There's no game plan here per se. Is how we attack the game plan. Yes, that's going to be another story in itself. But what our plan is, we can't stand with him. I mean, we're going to lose that one for sure. But keep in mind, Ariel, Khabib can hurt him on the stand-up too, also. But in route of doing what he needs to do, not standing with him. He stands with him. We're losing that all day long. We're not winning that one at all.
This may seem like a silly question, but I just want to ask it anyway, given your expertise. What concerns you most about Conor?
He's got great power, great timing, great relaxation. It's just a timing thing. It concerns me earlier off, getting started right off the bat. He's going to be very, very dangerous right from the get-go. So we have to be on point. Whoever screws up is going to get the bad end of this one, and my job is to make sure that Khabib's on point, and that's it. We just can't screw up because he's too dangerous. He's too dangerous.
Eddie Alvarez had talked about fighting out his contract against Poirier. Now, he lost that fight. What's his contract status, and do you guys really want to keep him? I mean, he's another guy who's never in a boring or shitty fight.
Yeah, no, I like Eddie Alvarez. I like him personally, and I like him professionally. And he's at an age now where he needs to make some decisions for his family and for what will probably be the last contract he signs for the rest of his career. Right. So, I'm in a place. If Eddie wants to go somewhere else and try it, I'm cool with that. But if Eddie wants to stay, I'd keep him here too. I told him that. I told him, listen, if you want to finish your career with me, I would like that. And if you want to finish your career somewhere else, I have no problem with that either, man. When guys get to the point where it's the last contract they'll ever sign, I understand.
You understand that they're going to do what's best for financially, sure.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for here are young guys that want to be world champions, young guys that know they can be a world champion in the UFC, or girls that know they can be a world champion in the UFC. And if you feel that you can't be, and you feel that there's a better decision that you could make at this point in your career for the last contract you'll ever sign, yeah, I absolutely understand that.
Let me ask you, too, after 226, you said Ngannou's ego played a part. That was very interesting because it seem like he was afraid of getting knocked out, and he admitted he underestimated Stipe. What do you think he needs to do to get his head straight? Because this could be the beginning of a downward spiral for a guy like that, or he could stop the bleeding if he gets his head right.
Who's this?
Ngannou. Francis, you had said his ego played a part in his losses.
Yeah. Francis Ngannou at the time that he was coming up, I believe this guy was going to be the guy, was going to be the heavyweight champion. And he lost his mind. This guy completely lost his mind and started to act, I don't know, in a way that you just don't act. And I completely saw it coming. That Stipe was, obviously Francis Ngannou was a massive, strong, hard-hitting guy. Anything can happen when he gets in there. But, Stipe has this thing where you said it at the beginning of the call, he feels completely disrespected. This guy's always on fire and pissed off at the world and pissed off at us. And so I saw that coming. I knew he was going to be. Francis Ngannou left the training center here, where he had trained for previous fights, took off to France, was in France, training or doing whatever he was doing leading up to the Stipe fight because he absolutely positively knew he was going to beat Stipe.
Wow. Well, what about the next fight with the Black Beast? I mean, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, nobody saw that fight would be so bad.
Whew.
But as you could tell, both guys were gun shy.
Yep.
The Beast said his back was messed up during that fight and whatever, but I don't know. Ngannou has a lot of, I don't know, man. He's got a lot of things he needs to fix personally and professionally to see if he ever gets back on track again.
Just a little update on Brock Lesnar. He's been tested 3 times in the last month. What is the testing? I don't know, but USADA tested him 3 times in the past month.
I mean, that could say Brock Lesnar tested every day since he decided to fight. I told you, I'm not buying it.
Skeptical.
Yep, super skeptical. Good for him. What else you got?
All right, this is a box. All right.
Just fight Ronnie Garcia. Good luck with that.
All right, this one says, this is about Daniel Cormier saying if Lesnar, for whatever reason, doesn't make the fight, he will give Stipe Miocic a rematch.
I think DC only fights one more time. I got to be honest. I think he fights one more time. I don't think we see a freaking another fight with John Jones, even if John fights soon. I think DC fights Brock Lesnar. I do think that happens, and then it's out. I don't think we see another Stipe fight. If Brock doesn't show up, then you get Stipe. But I think we get one more fight out of DC. I think that's smart. I think it's really smart.
Yeah.
What else you got?
All right, this is just a little side. You already know this, that Connor's not getting punished by the UFC. But I'll let you hear.
What I tell you guys, they used the highlight to promote the fight.
Of course they did.
I mean, they're going to do shit. You guys are going to do shit.
Yeah.
My favorite was when, remember when Las Vegas tried fucking with Conor McGregor for throwing the Monster Energy drink?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, you know what? You're suspended, and we're going to charge you $175,000 in this. And Conor went, very cool. Now I'm not fighting Vegas anymore. All right, let's not get crazy. Here's what we'll do. No fine. And then you got to shoot a commercial for us. And Conor went, very cool. Here's the other thing. The minimum for me to shoot a commercial is about $2 million. So I'll send you the bill, and I'll do it. And then they go, you know what? Let's just call it even, buddy. That's how they go. It's a complete joke.
And they fired the head of the commission after that, too.
So, commissions, it's a fucking shit fest. What else you got?
All right.